I was young and hungry to make money. I decided to throw in the towel, and that was really hard because it was my whole life since I was 5 years old. I thought I was going to be Tiger Woods, you know? I mean, I wasn't an artist. I was a golfer who just quit playing golf, who's been doodling, you know? And that same day, I went to Michael's and bought an easel, canvas, and I got up there and somehow I pulled it off. At the time, I actually was working part-time for chump change on this yacht as a deckhand. The following week after the Art Basel event there, we went over to the Bahamas, and I had all these emails from people that were there watching me paint live, asking me if I commissioned me to do this and this and this. I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. Right then and there, I told the captain that I was gonna quit this job when I got back. That's 10 years ago. I've been painting ever since. I see that everything is a reflection of me. You know, the devil's in the details, and the extra work that you put in, that extra 3 hours, I mean, it makes a fucking huge difference. This February, I went snowboarding, dislocated my shoulder, and it was my dominant arm, my painting arm. My wife was feeding me. It's like cutting off a guitar player's fingers.
Right.
You know, I couldn't work. You have to believe in yourself and have confidence in yourself and your work, and you have to stand behind your work, and it will show.
Creating something more than likely will last forever. I mean, there's literally art that you can go see that was done hundreds,
I want people to remember the name. Picasso, Dali, Yost.
Yost, this is good, man. I'm glad you
Thanks for having me.
glad you reached out, man, because you know, I didn't even think, you know, you're kind of an introvert a little bit. So I was like, you know, it kind of surprised me you want to jump on here, which I love though. I mean, I appreciate it. And so I just want to dive in because I read your bio.
Yeah, let's do it.
And I had no idea you were a golfer.
Yeah,
like a professional golfer at that. Like, tell us about that, because that's huge.
Yeah. I mean, I played my whole life.
Yeah.
I got a scholarship to college, Western Kentucky.
Okay.
I played 5 years there, redshirted my sophomore year. I was a great college player, man. I mean, you know, a lot of top 10s, a lot of top 5s. I never won in college, but I was Sun Belt All Conference one year. You know, I was a consistent player. So in my mind, I thought if I turned pro, you know, I'd make a decent living.
Yeah.
I turned pro in 2012. Played like 23 events as a pro on mini tours. I didn't make it to the PGA, but, you know, I only made a few cuts. I was struggling. It's a tough life. You know, it wasn't as easy as I thought. So,
yeah. Golf is very hard. Yeah.
Golf and family. My younger sister, she's on the LPGA for a couple of years.
Okay.
And she held her status. She grew up watching me play, you know, and often I feel like the younger sibling is always, you know, a little better in the sport. They're watching the older guy grow up, you know, but yeah, it was crazy. That was my whole life.
So how many, you just have one sister?
I have 2 younger sisters.
2 younger sisters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the middle sister, and then my youngest sister, she hates golf.
So when did you transition from, like, when did you know, okay, golf is just not what I want to do anymore?
Yeah, so I was playing professionally for about a year, and I mean, I was just already burned out. And I was ready to give it up, you know, and I just didn't love it anymore, you know. I was going out there with so much stress about, you know, you have a 5-foot putt for a lot of money. It feels like 20 feet, you know?
Right.
And I mean, that was just weighing on me heavy. I was young and hungry to make money. And you know, I decided to throw in the towel, and that was really hard because it was my whole life since I was 5 years old. I thought I was going to be Tiger Woods, you know? And you know, that reality setting in took a while. And then it was like, what am I going to do next? And, you know, I'm never the type to be a behind the desk person. That was never me. So then it was like, okay, what am I good at? You know, what am I good at? What can I do that I'm going to enjoy and make money? And I was always decent at drawing. You know, like high school art class, I was pretty good, but I never acted on it because I was always playing golf.
Okay.
So then I was like, when I gave up golf, kind of got back into doodling and messing around, nothing crazy. What was the big spark was I watched this documentary on Netflix, and it was called Exit Through the Gift Shop.
It's one of my favorite
about
documentaries.
Banksy.
Yeah,
and
I love it.
And really the documentary isn't as much about Banksy as it's about Mr. Brainwash.
Yeah.
And how he wasn't even an artist,
Exactly.
and I was just watching it and like relating to it, and I was just like, man, like, this is cool. Like, I could do this.
It's one of the most fascinating documentaries.
Yeah, I really agree.
If y'all out there haven't seen it, Exit Through the Gift Shop.
Yeah.
It's a phenomenal, even if you're not into art or anything, it's a phenomenal, in my opinion, there's so much to learn.
Yeah.
Like really I took it and immediately applied it to my business.
Oh, yeah.
Like immediately I started doing things that Mr. Brainwash was doing and Banks was doing.
And it gets into so much more. You learn about Shepherd's Ferry and Obey and how he marketed.
Exactly.
And I mean, it's a great doc.
Yeah.
And so that was like my spark. And I started messing around with art. I didn't have a job at the time, living at home at my mom's.
And you're in Kentucky still?
No.
Oh.
I had moved back home. So
Okay.
I had moved. This is after college. I had moved back home. I was playing pro golf for a year.
And where's home?
I was up in Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was playing pro golf, bouncing around. And then when I finally decided to give it up, I was doing art at my mom's here, and
when did you catch, where you knew, okay, I could maybe do something? Like, so Exit Through the Gift Shop kind of gave you that.
Yeah, that gave me the spark.
Inspirational kind of spirit or whatever.
That gave me the spark, and then my friends caught on to me messing around doing stuff, and all of a sudden I was doing pieces for $100 for my friends.
Okay.
Quick little something. What really got me going was I had a friend that was the hospitality coordinator for Nikki Beach, and this was the first week of December, which is Art Basel.
Yeah.
This is 10 years ago.
What? So I was going to ask you what
year. So this is
this?
10 years ago. This has got to be 2013.
Okay.
And this is a great story. I mean, I had this friend, and they were throwing the event for Art Basel. They were having it was like a fashion event. They had like a runway, and they were gonna have a live painter, and the painter dropped out last minute. So this friend reached out, and I said I would fill in. And at the time, I mean, I was messing around with art, but I mean, I wasn't an artist. I was a golfer who just quit playing golf, who's been doodling, and
this was live?
Yeah. So long story short, I fill in for this person. I mean, that same day, I went to Michael's and bought a bunch of crap that I didn't even know what I was buying. Bought an easel, canvas. I went on YouTube and I was watching, what's the easiest thing I can paint?
Right.
I mean, I watched this video probably 100 times. And I got up there and somehow I pulled it off. And I painted live. I'll never forget, it was Audrey Hepburn, a picture of her from The Breakfast Club. And somehow...
You still have that?
Actually, I gave it to my grandma.
Okay.
But
you have a picture of it though, right?
Yeah, I have a picture of it somewhere. I'll show you. And,
we gotta drop that in the pod for sure.
And anyways, I got up there on the stage. I pulled it off. I mean, that day I had gone on and made the Instagram, The Art of Yost. I had put the Art of Yost at gmail.com on this whiteboard next to where I was painting. I just made the email earlier that day, and I was just trying to look official and really just try to help my friend out, really. I was trying to be more of a good friend than act like some artist that I wasn't.
Right.
And just save the day for her. And so anyways, I pulled it off. And I didn't really think much about it. At the time, I actually was working part-time just for chump change on this yacht as a deckhand.
Okay.
And this is the following week after the Art Basel event there, I was back to work on the boat. We went over to the Bahamas, and I turned on my Wi-Fi. I lost Wi-Fi as I was crossing, and I had all these emails and this new email that I made prior to the event from people that were there watching me paint live, asking me if I commissioned me to do this and this and this. And I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. I was like, no way. And I mean, right then and there, I told the captain that I was going to quit this job when I got back to Miami. And I mean, that's 10 years ago. I went full throttle with art, and I've been painting ever since.
And you're pretty much self-taught?
Yeah, like, self-taught. I mean, besides high school art class, I mean, YouTube, university, you know.
And then other than Exit Through the Gift Shop, I mean, anyone or other things that have really influenced your style, your creativity, like, or does this all come from up here?
A lot of it comes from up top, but I mean, I'm definitely influenced by others. I mean, I really believe that you have to see things that you like and pull from it, and that's how you create your own originality. I mean,
right.
I read this book. It's a great book called Steal Like an Artist. I can't even think of the name of the author right now, but I mean, it really highlights how originality is so hard. I mean, it's very tough to be original these days. Art is a lot like music. It's a big circle. Like a lot of things have been done before, and it's just a pattern of reoccurring things that come back around, and something's trending and trends out, trends back in.
I think that's dope.
Yeah.
And I mean, one of the things I like how you use your art is you implement like culture in your art. So like the Michael Jordan stuff, or the Kobe Bryant, or the playing cards, and the shoes. And then I love how you use like real elements. So you did 3 paintings for me and in the gym, and my favorite is Andre 3000 and how you utilize the shoelaces in the shoe. And it was such a just genius touch of making something come to life. Like, cause you're sitting there and you're looking at it and you're like, whoa. And then I see people like touching the shoelaces and stuff. And that's such a creative, like, where does stuff like that come from?
Man, I'm always trying to like constantly evolve and push myself. It's been the biggest battle since I started art, really identifying and who is Yost. Like, a lot of big artists, you see their work and you immediately can identify with, okay, that's an Alec Monopoly, or that's a Banksy,
right.
What is, that's a Yost piece. Like, that has been the battle since I started. And I've been critiqued a lot because, a lot of galleries and art collectors, they like to see a unified work. Where me, as, I got in it because I knew I could I knew I could paint and
like multiple things.
Right. Yeah. And I got in it to make money, and at first I was taking any commission, I would do a landscape piece or portrait piece. And like, you kind of get critiqued for that in a negative way as an artist from, people that are in the art world, and that's been the battle, trying to find like, what is my style? And and to me, I think it shows range. I think, wow, Yost can paint this, he can do that. I think it's cool, but people don't
well, let me ask you this.
I
and I say this respectfully, like, who cares what people think?
Oh yeah.
No, like, do you ever say to yourself, like, I'm gonna own the fact that I'm multifaceted and I can do different things? Because like when I started with my gyms, one of the things that I was always told also is the same thing you were told, is that it had to look exactly the same, it had to feel the same, it had to do. And I always wanted to create the space how it like spoke to me, like, and doing a little bit of different things in different facilities depending on where they were. So like we're building out Nashville now. Like, I want to put a little bit of Nashville in that facility. I don't want it to look just like Miami, And so I think you should lean into that, like lean into it and own it. And then that is who you are. Yeah. Like, then you're known for that,
Right. Yeah. I want my signature to be what unifies me, and it's just, I always say that my favorite piece is the next piece. I'm always trying to top what I've done before.
You sound like Tom Brady right there. My next ring is my favorite ring is my next ring.
Right.
Remember when he said that?
But
I love it.
Yeah.
And then, so you're covered in tattoos, which is dope. When did that start for you?
I mean, since I was...
Did you have tattoos while you were golfing?
I had a few, but they weren't, you couldn't see them.
Okay.
You know, I really started getting tattooed when I gave up golf. I've actually been getting into tattooing lately. It's been kind of something I want to move into.
Actually doing tattoos.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just recently, I bought all the tattoo equipment about, a couple months ago. I've been learning the functionality of the gun and, different cartridges that are like different brushes. And I mean,
Amber said she'll be a guinea pig. So.
Yeah. I just, I've been diving into it and practicing on synthetics. And I'm really excited. Like I want to, it's a long-term plan, but I adding it to the arsenal has been, fun, and I'm excited for what's to come.
It speaks to your diversity too. It speaks to your range, as an artist.
Yeah, I've even lately I've been tattooing canvases, just little extra touches, adding something different.
I never even heard of that.
Yeah,
so
things
cool.
I'd never seen it either, and I've just been messing around. I'm always, trying.
One of my favorite shows when it first came out was that tattoo competition show when it first came out. Miami Ink.
Yes.
When it first came out, it was dope.
Yeah.
And then it got watered down or whatever. But when it first came out, it was really cool. And I actually knew the guys because they, kind of grew up in Miami too. So I forget everybody's name, but that's been a while.
Yeah.
It was really popular.
The big thing now is teaming up with the anesthesiologist and doing the no pain stuff. I mean, these guys.
What do you think about that though?
I mean, I know I have some tattooing. You gotta earn the pain type thing.
Is that kind of silly?
It's silly, I guess, if in the traditional mind aspect. I'm thinking of the money. I mean, these tattoo artists are charging these athletes and celebrities $100,000, and they're banging these tattoos out in a day. They're teaming
because
up
they're putting them under.
They're putting them under. They're under for 8 to 10 hours, and they
can just freaking go to town.
They go to town with 3 or 4 guys at the same time on you.
I think
it's pretty wild.
Post Malone just do it?
Oh yeah, Post Malone. I mean, a whole bunch of guys are doing it now. It's just trending in the NFL, NBA. These tattoo artists are making big money. So that's kind of what prompted me to get a tattoo gun. And I would love 5 years from now to have a tattoo shop where I offer, no pain tattoos.
I can hook you up with a bunch of good anesthesiologists too. Seriously.
Right? So, I don't know. I was looking at it from that perspective, the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And talk to us a little bit about how fitness has evolved in all this. Because I know the first time I met you, you were about this big around.
Yeah.
When you walked in my gym, you still had swag, you're still cool ass dude. But you were skinny as all get out. So
it's been up and down.
It's been it took you about 2 years, but you literally changed your you turned into a completely different person.
Oh yeah.
It was about 2 years, right?
It was about 2 years.
Yeah.
I got in the best shape of my life.
Yeah. You look like a different person.
Awesome. Gosh, we've been friends now for 5 years, maybe pushing 5 years.
Yeah.
I'd say a year and a half ago, I was probably in the best shape of my life. I got to 195. I was 5% body fat, unit.
Yeah.
Now I've kind of been on this past year and a half's been really tough. I had a severe back injury about a year ago that I had to halt my working out pretty heavily. That was a big battle for me that we talked about because you've had back injuries yourself. Yep. Then I kind of started to get on the better end of that. And in February, I went snowboarding in Colorado and dislocated my shoulder. And it was my dominant arm, my painting arm. And it's been tough these last few months. There was oftentimes there wasn't, light at the end of the tunnel. My wife was feeding me. I couldn't paint, any other limb for me, really, you can take it. Right? It's like cutting off a guitar player's fingers.
Right.
I couldn't work. And I really got into this no days off grind, where that's my routine, waking up, going to the gym, and I come home, I get to work, and when that stopped and I'm literally forced in the sling to not move and to be sitting at home every day, was a battle, not only physically, but mentally. I mean, I was in some dark places for a while, you know, and now I've been doing physical therapy a couple times a week. And I'm on the better end of it. I got my mobility back, got some strength back. I'm nowhere near where I was, but, I decided to, non-op and not do surgery. But I mean, 3 different orthos told me I needed surgery. So trying it conservative route, seeing how it goes. And
have you done stem cells yet?
I have got 1 stem cell injection. To be honest, I don't know if it's set because I really haven't felt that big of a difference.
How long ago was it?
A couple weeks ago.
Right. Give it 30 days.
Yeah.
It takes usually about a month for you to notice if it worked.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that I, see some signs of improvement from that. But
was there anything that stood out like in those dark moments where you like what in those dark moments helped you? Is it probably the easiest way to say it?
My wife.
Yeah.
Man, just leaning on her. I mean, gosh, poor girl. When I met her, well, actually, it's funny. I rewind a little bit because I met her through the gym in a way.
Another legacy love connection.
Yeah, legacy.
We got
love
legacy
connection.
babies. We got all kinds of stuff.
She had tagged me in one of the paintings, and that's how we started talking.
No,
I don't know if you know that. Yeah,
no, I didn't know that.
She tagged me in a picture of one of the paintings you have of mine at the gym. And that's how we stared talking. But
did you slide into her DMs?
Yeah, slid in.
Okay.
And now we're married. But when I met her, I was Superman a year and a half ago in the best shape, and she's been through the back injury and then the shoulder injury. I mean, she's
been like a nurse to you.
Oh my God, she's been a nurse. I mean, she thinks someone has my voodoo doll. It's been pretty hard, but I think I'm on the up and up now, and I think things are turning around, and it's like now that I've been through this, and I think I'll in the future get into the best shape I've ever been in, knowing more things about the body and how to train better to prevent injury. And,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I always say like setbacks and obstacles. If you get over them and allow yourself to use your pain as your purpose and use it to teach you a lesson, not a loss, that you come out stronger on the other end.
Absolutely.
So like once you get through this, you're gonna look back and be like, man, that actually helped me. Yeah. And no telling, I'm sure there was a lot of moments where you were sitting and not doing, and that's where that mind like goes and goes and goes.
Yeah.
So did you find yourself like in a weird way, any creative moments during those times? Like but I know you couldn't really do anything because your arm was good.
I mean,
or was it just like kind of more just a shitty place to be?
It was just a fucking shitty place to be.
Yeah.
It was a rough few months, man. And I tried to get creative in the littlest ways that I could, doing from my sling little stuff on the iPad. It was a battle.
Yeah. And what's next? What's on the agenda now? So tattooing.
Yeah,
obviously.
tattooing. And I was still taking commissions while I was injured. I mean, I have great clients that were, behind me, willing to wait. And, so I'm playing catch up, just banging out a bunch of work that I was missed while I was injured. And just trying to get back on my feet, really, just hammering out a lot of my therapy and keeping with the tattooing. I really don't have much on the agenda. My main focus right now lately has just been my health.
Getting healthy.
Yeah, getting healthy and really getting back in the right mental place too after these last few months have been so hard, so.
Well, just keep showing up for yourself. Man.
Yeah, I'm just showing up.
That's all you can do. So I hope we can be an anchor for you too as well.
The gym is.
Doors always open to get in there, and you always have, like I always tell people, like whenever you have an injury, you can't focus on the injury. You got to focus on not what I can't do, but what can I do. And when you have injuries, there are things that you can do with your other body parts. There are things you can do therapeutically. So like sauna, cold plunge, these are things that you can do, you know, that actually can help you stay somewhat at least healthy and at least feeling good, you know? So definitely implement that kind of stuff. IVs also, like, so when you get IVs, the more your body is healing from the inside out, it's going to actually help injuries. So that's something too, believe it or not, that will help you recover as well. And then just movement in general. So just remember, like, and your back's feeling good now, right?
Yeah. It's almost like the body can only handle so much. Just like when I had the shoulder injury, I was going into that snowboarding trip worried about my back. You know, is my back going to be okay on like while I'm riding? And then the shoulder injury happened. And since the shoulder injury, I haven't really had too many back, you know, issues. But I think it's because I'm not really working out like I was. Like when I would start working out, training legs, you know, and I would just aggravate it again. So I don't know if it's because I'm kind of taking it easy or just the body knows. But
definitely get into, and I know this is going to sound silly, but get into walking. Yeah. And I'm serious. Like walking, first of all, it's phenomenal for your back. And then also it's fantastic for your mind. So it's going to help. And we live in Miami. So it's like, why not? Right. And you walking and hydrating, I always say walking, start with walking and water, you know, stay hydrated and then stay moving, because moving creates momentum. It creates motivation. It's in the movement where we start to, like, our mind starts to come up with different ideas and different stuff. And so I always tell people like that are injured or sick or whatever, is like, just walk. So, and I know that doesn't sound sexy or anything, but I promise you it works. So, you know, whenever you feel like it, you know, just go for a walk, like, you know.
Congratulations to you, man. I mean, since I've known you, you've been checking off some major boxes.
Trying, definitely.
Opening multiple locations, NDO, H2O.
Yep. I can't wait till we get you to Little River. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
We still got to come up with something, but.
What's the date looking like on that?
September, probably. September? Like, yeah. It's, you know, construction, you never know, but September is my goal, so I usually don't miss a goal. So, yeah.
I know you don't.
If I say I'm going to do something,
stand on business.
Exactly. Tell me a little bit about how you ended up doing art for Gucci Mane and Chris Brown, because I saw that too. Like, and that's kind of, you know, like at the end of the day, that's like, that doesn't happen, you know, by chance, like, you know, or could it be? I don't know. Like, talk a little bit about it.
Early on in my career, you know, a girl I was dating in the nightlife was dating some NBA player. Okay. And she got commissioned me to do a painting for his birthday. And it was Jeff Green.
Oh, yeah.
Jeff Green, yeah.
That dude can dunk like, so I used to train Jeff.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, Iron Man, they call him in the league from his heart surgery. Yeah, so he commissioned me to do several pieces.
No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Gerald Green. Oh, okay. My bad. Do you know who Gerald Green is?
Yeah. No, I know
Gerald Green
as well.
Can dunk out. Like, he's one of the most fascinating dunkers I've ever seen. So I wasn't thinking about the wrong person.
Yeah, no, but anyways, so I did several pieces for him, and it kind of just spread like wildfire. I mean, one of his teammates, you know, got more pieces, and then it's kind of it was a word of mouth thing, and then it spread throughout the league. And I don't know, before I knew it, I was doing pieces not just for NBA guys, but NFL and, you know, celebrities. Chris Brown, I met through Brandon Jennings.
Okay.
Another old NBA
Is it wait, who's Brandon Jennings?
Brandon Jennings,
Milwaukee Bucks?
He played for the Bucks.
Yes,
right. He was one of the first players to, you know, at 18, he went over to Europe.
Okay.
And played. But yeah, he put me on with Chris Brown, and they really close friends. They grew up hooping together out in LA. They live in the same neighborhood. They play basketball together all the time. So Chris didn't commission the piece, but Brandon commissioned it as a gift. It was still cool because I got to meet him and that connection, and, you know, I have a piece at his house. So I mean, that's, you know, the people that are going over to Chris Brown's, you can just imagine, and they, you know, they're seeing a painting by Yost hanging there. So it's, you know, it's good for me. Yeah. I mean, in early on, I also, I would sometimes, gift pieces to celebrities and athletes just to get my stuff out there, and it would always pay back tenfold.
Yeah, that's smart. Yeah, for sure.
And I suggest any up and coming artists to, make moves like that, to get out ahead of it and you market yourself and your brand.
Yeah. Is there anything else you can tell to that younger kid out there that's thinking about being an artist? Like, any advice you have for them?
You have to be relentless. You have to, just like anything else, you have to believe in yourself and have confidence in yourself and your work, and you have to stand behind your work, and it will show, and you have to, I get a lot of DMs all the time, like, because painting takes a long time, but, if you follow me, I always post progress of what I'm working on and stuff. And people ask me, how do you paint so fast? And I mean, it's not the fact that I'm painting fast. It's just that I'm fucking working hard.
Right.
Like this is my job. I treat it as a 9 to 5, and I often work more than a 9 to 5. I'm working all day. I have multiple easels set up. I'm not just sitting watching paint dry. I'm working my ass off, and just because I'm an artist, I'm not sitting at home smoking weed all day.
Which I'm sure a lot of people think. Yeah, exactly.
It's what people think as an artist, and it's just not how it is. I mean, I'm very much a businessman, and
is there also moments like where you start a project and you just are like, it's not going the way I want, and just start over?
Oh yeah.
Like, how often does that happen?
All the time.
Probably, right?
All the time.
Yeah. I always think about that because I'm sure you have a somewhat of like a perfectionist eye on your own work, right?
Yeah.
You're trying to create a masterpiece every time.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if it's not what's in your head, you're probably like, I'm not doing this.
And now I actually do that more often than I used to when I started, because I see that everything is a reflection of me.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't, early on, maybe I would just bang out a piece and sign it, and rush it out the door.
Right.
Whereas now I'm, every little detail, the devil's in the details, and the extra work that you put in, that extra 3 hours, I mean, it makes a fucking huge difference.
Yeah.
And people see it, and, it's just what I've been.
What's the biggest piece you've ever done?
The biggest?
Not that size matters, but.
Probably.
That joke didn't go very well. I'm sorry.
Probably maybe a 80-foot mural. 80 foot?
80 foot?
Yeah, in Las Vegas.
Oh, nice.
I did about an 80-foot mural.
On a building?
It was at a restaurant.
Okay.
Yeah, in Las Vegas.
It's still there?
It's about an 80-foot mural. I think they actually went under.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I did this years ago. But yeah, that was probably the biggest.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Have you done a lot of murals?
I love doing murals.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't get too many mural jobs, but I just love when I love when I
spray paint?
Yeah, spray paint. I use brushes as well.
Okay.
I love just the infinite space to be creative.
Mm-hmm.
I love doing huge murals. Yeah, I wish I got more mural gigs than I do, but when I do get them, I really enjoy it.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
We might do that at Little River then. Give me ideas.
Yeah.
You still playing golf?
Not lately with the injuries, but I get out there every now and then. Yeah, still got it, Still got it.
You ever hustle people?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure they don't know that you can play golf.
Now I pull up.
Especially tattoos.
I look like a drummer.
Right, exactly.
And so
pulling up looking like Travis Barker.
Yeah, I'll sandbag them every now and then. Yeah, I enjoy it. Yeah, I enjoy it. Muscle memory. I'll always. That's the one thing I'll never regret is I'll always be a decent golfer.
Yeah.
For the rest of my life, and
which is a great thing.
Yeah, a lot of business is done on the golf course.
Exactly.
A lot of people, you get out there for golf. It takes a long time, 4 or 5 hours with someone.
And it takes a lot of money too.
Where you can chop it up with someone and get some things done. One of the biggest things that I've always said is, as an artist, I think a blank canvas is the beginning of anything we want. And it's a powerful tool. We have all these platforms at our disposal, and we have to use it. And, you know, used the right way, it's a pretty powerful thing. You can convey some pretty heavy messages through art.
Yeah, and also too, it's forever.
Yeah.
And that's something I think is fascinating, is that you're creating something, you know, I mean, more than likely will last forever.
Right.
I mean, obviously, but if you look at like the history of art, I mean, there's literally art that you can go see that was done hundreds, 200s.
I want people to
years
remember
ago.
the name.
Yeah.
You know?
So
Picasso, Dali, Yost.
Yost, exactly.
You know?
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate
definitely.
it. Thanks a lot.